think you are not smart enough because you forget English words 5 minutes after you learn them. You think you need a special talent or a math brain to learn new skills fast. That is a total lie. Your brain is a supercomputer, but you are running the wrong software. To learn fast, you must stop acting like a student and start acting like a baby. Hello, everyone. My name is Jack. I am 35 years old. I am from New York, and I am an entrepreneur. Welcome to the channel English and Personal Growth. On this channel, we learn English and build a better life. We do not just study grammar. We study how to be successful. And today, we are talking about how to learn anything 10 times faster, and English too. Listen carefully to the monologue. I put 4 advanced phrases in it. These are B2 level phrases. Try to catch them, and then I'll explain them. Let me take you back to 2015. I was sitting in a small gray classroom in Manhattan. It was a Tuesday night. It was raining outside. I was trying to learn coding, Python. Everyone said, "Jack, you need to learn to code to be a good entrepreneur." So I paid $2,000 for a course. I sat there with my expensive MacBook Pro. The teacher, a guy named Mark with a long beard, was writing code on the whiteboard. "Print hello world," he said. I copied him. "If X equals Y," he said. I copied him. I memorized the lists. I memorized the syntax. I felt smart. I got an A on the test. 2 weeks later, I tried to build a simple website for my dog walking business. I opened my computer. The screen was white. The cursor was blinking. Blink, blink, blink. And my mind was empty. I knew the rules, but I could not do the work. I wasted $2,000 and 2 months of my life. Why? Because I was learning passively. I was collecting information, but I was not building a skill. Here is the secret. Learning is not about input. It is about output. If you want to learn English fast, stop watching 20 YouTube videos in a row. Stop reading grammar books for 3 hours. That is passive learning. It feels good because it is easy. Your brain says, "Wow, I am working hard." But actually, you are just watching entertainment. You need active recall. This is the scientific term. It means you must struggle. Let me give you a better example. Last year, I went to Mexico City for a business trip. I wanted to speak Spanish. I did not buy a textbook. I downloaded an app called Duolingo, but I used it differently. I did not just click the buttons. I looked at a word, closed my eyes, and tried to say a sentence. Then I went to a local taco shop called El Califa. It smelled like grilled meat and spicy salsa. I was hungry. I walked up to the counter. The man looked at me. He was waiting. I was nervous. I wanted to use Google Translate on my iPhone 15. That is the easy way. But I put the phone in my pocket. I forced my brain to work. I said, "Quiero, 2 tacos con cheese?" The man laughed. He said, "Con queso." I said, "Yes, con queso." I made a mistake. I looked stupid. But guess what? I never forgot the word queso again. That moment of struggle, that moment of social pressure, burned the word into my memory. This brings me to the second rule, the 80-20 principle. You do not need to know everything. In English, there are 170,000 words. That is terrifying. But you only need 3,000 words to understand 95% of daily conversation. When I was learning to play the guitar, I tried to learn complex jazz chords. It was impossible. My fingers hurt. I wanted to quit. Then my friend Dave, who plays in a band, told me, "Jack, stop. Just learn 4 chords: G, C, D, and E minor." I focused only on those 4 chords. I practiced them every morning at 7 a.m. while my coffee was brewing. After 1 week, I started to get the hang of the rhythm. With just those 4 chords, I could play 50 popular songs. I could play Wonderwall by Oasis. I could play Country Roads. I felt like a rock star. If I tried to learn all the chords, I would be 0% a rock star. I would be a failure. So, in English, focus on the high-frequency words. Don't learn the word for hippopotamus or photosynthesis if you cannot say, "I need to go to the bank." The third rule is spaced repetition. Your brain is designed to forget. It is a survival mechanism. If you remembered every leaf on every tree you saw today, your brain would explode. So, your brain deletes information that is not useful. To trick your brain, you need to remind it that this information is important, but not all at once. Many students cram. They study for 5 hours on Sunday because they have an exam on Monday. This is garbage. You will forget everything by Wednesday. It is better to study for 15 minutes every day than for 5 hours once a week. I have a routine. Every morning, while I brush my teeth with my electric toothbrush, I review 5 new words. Just 5. I look at them in the mirror. Then, I do not look at them again until the evening. When I try to remember them in the evening, it is hard. I have to figure out the connection again. My brain has to search for the file. This searching process makes the memory strong. And finally, you must make it fun. If you hate your textbook, burn it. Seriously, throw it in the trash. You cannot learn if you are bored. Boredom is the enemy of memory. I love business news. I love reading about Elon Musk and Apple. So when I learn a language, I read business news. I do not read children's books. I do not read about the cat is on the table. I read about the stock market is down. Because I am interested, I pay attention. If you love cooking, watch Jamie Oliver videos in English. If you love football, listen to commentary about Manchester United. When you enjoy the content, you naturally pick up new vocabulary without trying too hard. It happens automatically. You hear the word goal or penalty 100 times, and you learn it. This is how babies learn. A baby does not study grammar rules. A baby wants to ask for milk. A baby wants to play with a toy. They listen, they copy, and they speak. Sometimes, you need to review the basics. That is okay. Last month, I noticed my writing was getting sloppy. I was making small mistakes with commas and periods. So I took one weekend to brush up on my punctuation rules. I didn't start from zero. I just polished the skill. So stop trying to be a genius. Be a practitioner. Don't memorize the map. Go walk the territory. Don't study the bicycle. Get on the bicycle and fall down. The person who falls down and stands up learns 10 times faster than the person who reads the manual. Wow, I got a little intense there. I was waving my hands around. I almost knocked over my water bottle. But I really believe this. We waste so much time feeling stupid when we just need a better strategy. Okay, let's look at the 4 phrases I used in the story. Did you hear them? These are excellent phrases for your daily life and work. The first phrase was, To get the hang of. I said, after 1 week, I started to get the hang of the rhythm. To get the hang of means to begin to understand how to do something. It usually happens after you practice a little bit. It is not expert level, but it means you are not a beginner anymore. You are comfortable. For example, when you buy a new iPhone, it feels strange. There is no home button. But after 2 days, you get the hang of swiping up. Or driving a car with a manual transmission. At first, you stop the car by mistake, but soon you get the hang of the gears. The second phrase was to figure out. I said, I have to figure out the connection again. To figure out means to solve a problem or to understand something by thinking. It is an active process. You don't just know the answer, you find the answer. Imagine you buy a table from IKEA. It comes in a flat box with 50 screws. You look at the instructions. They are confusing. You sit on the floor and try to figure out how to build the table. Or maybe your computer is not working. The screen is black. You check the cables, you check the power. You are trying to figure out what is wrong. The third phrase was to pick up. I said, when you enjoy the content, you naturally pick up new vocabulary. To pick up in this context means to learn something easily, casually, without formal study. You learn it just by being there. For example, if you move to Texas, you might pick up a Southern accent. You don't try to do it, it just happens. Or if you work in a kitchen, you will pick up some cooking skills just by watching the chef. You didn't go to school for it, you just picked it up. The fourth phrase was to brush up on. I said, I took 1 weekend to brush up on my punctuation rules. To brush up on means to improve or refresh a skill that you learned in the past but forgot a little bit. Think about an old painting. It is dusty. You use a brush to clean it. Maybe you learned French in high school, but now you are 30. You are going to Paris. You need to brush up on your French before the trip. You are not learning from zero. You are just refreshing your memory. Or maybe you need to brush up on your Excel skills for a new job. So let's review them quickly one last time. To get the hang of means to start understanding how to do something. To figure out means to solve a problem or understand something. To pick up means to learn something casually or naturally. To brush up on means to refresh an old skill. I want you to use pick up in a sentence today. Maybe think about a bad habit you picked up recently. We are coming to the end of this episode. I hope you feel ready to learn. Here is my challenge for you. Do not open a textbook today. Find a song in English that you love. Listen to it. Read the lyrics. Try to sing it. Or watch a video about your hobby in English. If you love makeup, watch a makeup tutorial. If you love cars, watch a review of the new Ferrari. Learn through passion, not through pain. I have a question for you. I want to see your answers in the comments. What is the one skill you are trying to learn right now? Is it English? Is it coding? Is it dancing? And be honest, are you studying it or are you doing it? Tell me below. If this video gave you some value, please hit the like button. It helps the YouTube algorithm show this to more people. And subscribe if you want to grow with us. My name is Jack, This was English and personal growth. Don't just study. Go figure it out. See you next time.